You're listening to Gamers Digest, a podcast where your hosts put the controllers down just long enough to talk about gaming news, rumors, and anything else they can think of. Here are your hosts, Spider1 and Mr. Factastic.
Oh.
Okay, now the mic's on. Nobody heard you pick your nose.
No, nobody heard me pick my nose.
Welcome to Gamers Digest. We are a fan podcast, video cast, soon to be on TV cast.
Yeah, this Saturday.
Yeah, so if you're in Anne Arundel County, check out, public television. We'll be on there.
Well, it's Saturdays at 10 p.m. and Thursdays at 8. Wait, Saturdays at 8 p.m. Thursdays at 10
I did the
p.m.
same thing today when I was telling somebody about it. So, but we talk about gaming news, rumors, pretty much anything we want to now. So
you're thinking it and we're saying it.
Yep, that's the tagline. So, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing a lot this week, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So have I, but we'll do you first.
I played Deadlight, a lot of 360 stuff. Deadlight, Advance Wars 2 on my phone. Gears of War 3. I've been playing that. Mostly multiplayer stuff. The co-op. I've been playing co-op with one of my friends. Insane mode. Like the hardest difficulty. We've been doing all the Gears of War on insane mode. So this is it's like a tradition to finish the Gears
trilogy.
Of War 3. Yeah, finish the trilogy on insane, and it's tough, just like the other ones. But hey, we're doing it. Been playing Battlefield 3 multiplayer. I've been doing a lot of arcade gaming.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Tony Hawk, Dust, Limbo, Expendables 2, which is actually was actually pretty cool.
You liked it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I've heard mixed things about it.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's kind of hectic at times, but I was debating on spending my points because I have like 15 something hundred points, so I'm like, what do I get? What do I use my points for? Shoot mini robots. That game was also pretty cool. I've been playing the demos for these.
Right.
And Counter-Strike Global Offensive. You saw me playing that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I want to talk about that one. You had a little bit of an experience with that.
Yes, I did. I had some trouble.
Yeah. Did you ever figure out why your buttons got unmapped?
No, I didn't. I have no idea how.
Yeah, basically what happened is he got into a game and he's like, man, the lag in this game is awful. It's like hitting the buttons, he's like, nothing's going on. And he's like, all right, well, I'm going to go play with a game with a bot. And so he jumped in a game with bots and he was like, it's still not doing anything. And then he goes under controls and all his keys are unmapped. So
yeah. So basically, I couldn't do anything but walk around. It had to have happened earlier in the day when I was playing a multiplayer match. One that did have some lag. There was some lag.
You're like, I'm so bad at this, I have to unmap my keys so I have a legitimate excuse. You were actually doing pretty good there.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
Not to me, but I don't know. That's a weird problem to have. I don't think I've ever had that problem on a console. I've had that happen on a PC, the control file get lost or corrupted or something, so it just loads a blank slate.
You know what might have triggered it? I'm speculating here. That I was running on Xbox Live through a 48-hour trial before I activated my 3-month trial.
Right.
And mid-play, it kicked me from a game. So I'm wondering if maybe
that corrupted something.
Yeah, something.
Okay.
So maybe that did it.
Well, I've had a pretty busy week too. I I played both Walking Dead episodes twice. I was gonna go for a third one.
Your good playthrough and your
Not good playthrough.
yeah.
So, and then I got into the Smite beta, which I did have some video for, but we were having some technical problems with it, so I wasn't able to show that. But it's basically like League of Legends, but from like a third-person perspective rather than like the isometric. So it's actually pretty cool. I only got to play that a little bit. Firefall beta, which is kind of Gears of War, kind of MMO, third-person shooter MMO, and that actually looks really cool. But they're having a lot of server problems right now, so that's something I'll probably keep my eye on. Blood Rain Betrayal is one of the free games for PlayStation Plus, so I've been playing a lot of that too. Outland, same thing, another 2D side scroller. And then the big one this week is Transformers: Fall of Cybertron. I played the crap out of that game yesterday and today, and I will probably play it some more. But that's actually going to be my review. What's your review this week?
My review for this week's going to be Deadlight.
Deadlight.
Yeah, the 360 arcade game. It came out at the beginning of this month.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's great writing.
It is. It puts my writing to shame.
Yeah, it really does. So, all right, well, let's go into the quick news. If I can pull the...
News and rumors.
Trying not to.
All right, so the first quick news story is there's actually going to be no single player at Command & Conquer Generals 2. It's only going to be multiplayer at co-op, but it is going to be free to play.
There's a copy of a canceled Final Fantasy 2 for NES. It hit eBay for $50,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
Because basically Final Fantasy 2 never was released outside of Japan, and this is like one of the only copies that's translated to English. Because it was going to come out in the U.S., but then they scrapped it and decided to, I guess, focus on Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. Sony sold 2.2 million Vitas worldwide. We're actually one of the discussion topics this week was going to be mobile, but I'm going to hold that off for a little bit.
Okay.
We do have some pretty cool discussion topics this week, which we'll get to.
And Plants vs. Zombies sequel due in the first half of 2013. That's the puzzle game.
Yeah, it's like the tower defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really popular. Double Dragon Neon, which is the remake of the immensely popular Double Dragon, is actually going to be released next month. So that's actually
another arcade game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Castle Crashers is coming to Steam.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Another beat 'em up. Arma 2, the Arma 2 mod DayZ, which I showed you, is actually going to become a standalone game.
That's pretty
to.
cool. Yeah, I mean, once something like that gets like a big enough following.
Yeah, they pass over a million registered users.
Same thing happened with Counter Strike.
Right.
Yeah.
So actually, all of those, right?
Yeah.
Like
what about
Counter Strike,
Day
Team Fortress,
Day of Defeat?
Day of Defeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that they're getting back to that. You don't see that on console games.
Nah.
Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time was pushed back till 2013. Everybody that's looking forward to Sly Cooper, just pick up the collection. And the last one is in esports.
Dota 2 gets a spectator client.
Yeah, it's actually independent of the game. Like you and I were joking earlier because last week my wife mentioned that our commentating skills were awesome, which is why the last episode is titled "We Suck at Commentating."
Yeah.
But that's cool that people can just download the client. Like, they don't even have to download the whole game. It's a separate client right now that they can download off of Steam and watch games live or replays. So if you want to practice commentating, you can. Although a game like that, like League of Legends and Dota 2 and all those MOBAs, it really helps if you can play them because there's so much crap going on. Well, you got the first full news story, which is kind of bad news.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've been talking about this before about how like there's a restructuring going on in the gaming industry. You know, companies going down, people losing their jobs, and there's this online service. It's the where you play your games online through without a console.
The cloud gaming.
Yeah, the cloud gaming system, and they got an acquisition by Preorders LLC. I mean, it's kind of you would be
They were
you would
bought
be
out.
yeah they're bought out. You'd be leery to be it would be leery to be a gamer that's been using the system because okay, where's my money going to? Am I going to lose my service? Right now you're not going to lose your service or anything like that. Most of the people are getting their jobs back. They're getting their jobs offered back to them.
Yeah, it was like over half of them, right?
Yeah, over half of them are getting their jobs back, and they want to hire new people, and so there's going to be like a mix of fresh people and um, the people that have already worked there before. What else? What are some other tidbits?
The big reason I wanted to do this story was we needed an Ouya story,
Yeah.
and this ties into Ouya because they were supposedly one of the
Backers?
I don't know if it was backers,
Supporters?
but supporter. Yeah,
Yeah.
supporter. Like they were gonna have on live cloud gaming,
Mm-hmm.
and they say that's still gonna be I guess feasible. They're still trying to do that.
I'm telling you, man, that Ouya is going to be.
You're playing
Ouya.
you're playing like a lot of emulators and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can say that on here.
Oh.
I guess you're playing a lot of games on your phone from older systems.
Yeah.
One way or another on your phone.
They just they're
Wind
just
up there. So
I don't know how they got there.
I guess we can say it. It doesn't really matter. they're vaporware at this, or not vaporware, but abandonware at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I bought them before.
Yeah, we all owned
exactly.
Super Mario 3.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But yeah, that's gonna be on Ouya.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the OnLive, it's a little risky because when you buy a game like from Steam and you download it, even if the Steam servers go down, you can still play it, assuming there's no DRM or anything.
Okay.
But OnLive, once that service goes down, your games are gone.
Yeah. So that's tough.
Yeah, and OnLive is a subscription service, but they also make you pay for games.
Per game.
Yeah, it's like a tier thing. Like you can get a subscription, play games, or you can download.
Kind of like how Xbox Live is.
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, there's a little more give and take with the OnLive.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll keep our eye on that because the other big one, Gaikai, which is the one that's partnering with Sony, OnLive says that there's currently no way that Sony's going to get a hold of their technology. So, because that's the big race right now, which one can get the technology right first. So.
Sony won the Blu-ray, the format wars.
Sony wins a lot of stuff for losing a lot of money.
Yeah, they do. They do. They're ahead of the game when it comes to losing money.
Yeah. Well, the next story is Diablo 3 didn't think 60 levels were enough, so they kind of added 100 more. But it's really weird. It's called the Paragon system, not to be confused with Paragon and Renegade.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I saw it.
No, they just call it the Paragon system because you still stay level 60, but what happens is after level 60, you gain what they call Paragon levels up to 100 Paragon levels, and those increase like your magic find, your gold find, and like basic stats, like a minor amount, not like a full level where you get like points and stuff like that. But they did this pretty much to help alleviate a lot of the problems people were complaining about, like there's nothing to do at the end of the game, especially with like the auction house. So there wasn't a whole gear grind and stuff. So
people basically played the game to death.
Right.
And then,
that's what happened to me. I got to 60, and then I was like, I don't feel like doing this anymore. It's too hard, and there's no reward out of it. But I wish I would have, because there's a lot of money to be made, apparently. But yeah, like most people stopped. Like they actually say concurrent users for Diablo 3 right now is actually like the same as Diablo 2.
Wow.
So that's saying something. They're catching a lot of flack for it. It actually came out yesterday, so if you haven't tried it, go download it. I did check it out a little bit. I got like two levels. They did change a lot of the stuff, so it might be something I'll have to go back and check. But as of right now, there's just too much other stuff going on.
This next story is interesting.
Yeah, you were originally going to do this story, and then you were like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think I could still do it.
Well, you're doing the last one, right?
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
All right, I'll do this one then. Axl Rose is actually suing Activision, saying he was promised a Guitar Hero's Guns N' Roses edition, which anybody who follows the gaming industry at this point knows that Guitar Hero has died.
Yeah.
There's millions of plastic guitars in landfills now. Like they're basically, they don't know what to do with them.
They died out. I mean, When did it happen? What killed it?
Warriors of Rock, probably. It's unfortunately Guitar Hero was a cool concept, and I actually, we both really enjoyed the games.
Yeah.
But the problem was, it's a genre that had nowhere to go. Like, there's no way to innovate that. You can tie down the gameplay and stuff, and they perfected that pretty much in like Guitar Hero 3.
Yeah.
And
Guitar Hero 3 was the only Guitar Hero game I ever bought.
right, I
And,
bought
like, and
2
Rock
and
Band.
3, and then Rock Band. Yeah, Rock Band was really like the last innovation because it added the other instruments. But yeah, basically Axl Rose was saying he was promised a Guns N' Roses edition, and he's suing for $20 million. Initially, he sued for misuse and breach of contract. The misuse was basically the way it works with Guns N' Roses songs is all the original Guns N' Roses members have to give their consent to use a song. It's kind of like Ghostbusters. If Ghostbusters wants to do anything, all 4 original Ghostbusters have to give use. Well, Guns N' Roses is the same way. Unfortunately, Axl Rose and Slash, which are the 2 more famous members of Guns N' Roses, don't like each other anymore. And pretty much it was said to Axl Rose that Slash wasn't really going to be in Guitar Hero 3
game,
when it ended up being he was like the main selling point.
Yeah.
So
You're like the main character.
So that's why they said misuse, but the judge actually dropped the misuse just because he was like, well, you gave your consent. It's too late for that. But the judge did say there might be a breach in contract because in the contract it does say he was promised a Guns N' Roses game. I mean, at this point, I think he's kind of just grasping for money. But if it's in the contract,
if you look at we'll have the link posted to the story. But if you look at the comments at the bottom of the page, the people are like, yeah,
he's grasping for straws now.
Yeah.
I mean, Slash has his own band, Velvet Revolver, which, hasn't been huge, but they've had, hit songs. So they've kind of gone on, whereas Axl Rose really hasn't done too much. I think he's been on, like, Celebrity Rehab. So, I don't know. But his big objection was Welcome to the Jungle. I just had to throw that in there. So, you got some PlayStation news, even though you don't have a PlayStation.
This is what drew me to this story. Like, man, I don't got a PlayStation anymore. Oh man, PlayStation Plus subscribers are going to be getting the God of War Ascension multiplayer beta. It's going to be coming out in the near future, and it's cool. I thought it was cool how your character, you basically pledge an allegiance to a certain god, and there's 4 different ones. It's what? Poseidon, Ares, Zeus, and which is the other one?
Poseidon, Ares, Zeus, crap.
I can't think of it right. Hades.
Hades. Yeah, I was like, we're missing one of the brothers.
But yeah, and then that basically sets up your play style for your character, and it's going to be cool. Like we played the hell out of can I say hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played the heck out of
You can really say anything you want. I mean, it's only the audio I got to worry about.
Yeah.
The live recording, whatever.
I mean, we played the heck out of Mass Effect 3, so I haven't played I haven't played any of the God of War games, but I played the PSP versions.
Yeah.
I played the PSP version.
Well, then you play God of War.
Okay,
they don't vary too much. God of War is a lot like Gears of War in the fact that they take the system, and God of War kind of refines it a little more than Gears of War did, but the basic play style is the same.
So, I mean, as fun as it was playing like the regular God of War type game, the multiplayer, the way they have it set up in this, seems like it'd be cool, especially after we were so impressed by Mass Effect.
Yeah, so. I watched all the videos, and I think I don't know if this is the story that actually links to the video. One of them does. One of the 4 big stories this week links to a video rather than an actual like story. But you get to watch like the multiplayer in action as they commentated. The developers commentated, so they kind of know a lot of what's going on behind the scenes. But they break it down like, this guy's doing this to get favor for this, and there's a lot of small like elements that most people don't think of, kind of like Mass Effect, how there was like little choke points and stuff and little bonuses here and there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And there's going to be like 4 or 5 multiplayer modes. So I'm excited to get into that beta.
Favor that. I'll be watching.
Yeah.
I'll watch while you play.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, all right. Well, we're gonna get into the discussion topics. We have two today, uh, but one of them we're actually gonna do at the end of the show, just because of the fact that it's gonna be about Walking Dead, mainly the games. I've read some of the comic. You've read some of the comic. You've seen more of the show than I have.
Yeah, just the first season.
See, I've only seen like the first two episodes. So, but it's mostly going to be about the games, episodes 1 and 2. Maybe some references to the show, but there's going to be a lot of spoilers, so we'll do that one at the end.
Yeah.
But the first one actually is your story, well, your discussion. So why don't you start it off?
My question was, like, I stopped by GameStop today. There was this person at GameStop I wanted to see, but
This girl.
she wasn't there.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted to show her my card. I should have brought the business card for Gamers Digest. But basically, usually people, like, when you go to a gaming store, they ask you for a reservation and to reserve a game. And I was wondering, like, I mean, I've never really reserved a game. If I do it, I mean, do
I'm
you
back.
reserve games?
Sometimes. I reserve Guild Wars.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you get anything special with it?
Head Start. Usually the Head Start's the only thing that can entice me to pre-order.
Okay.
If it's like Transformers, there was like a bonus multiplayer skin, stuff like that really doesn't interest me.
Yeah,
So,
like how often do you how often do you reserve or pre-order a game? Like I remember back in the day, like back in like the PS1 days, like when you knew like Final Fantasy was gonna come out, you had to pre-order it. Oh, there goes Curtis's business card there.
Yep, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thought I had a little bit of fun with Photoshop earlier in the week, so I was like, yeah, let me print those out.
Yeah.
But basically, I don't really do it.
No,
Nah.
like I said, the Head Starts, actually MMOs are typically really the only thing I ever pre-order
Yeah.
because of the Head Start.
The last time I went to GameStop.
In Mass Effect. Mass Effect.
In Mass Effect. I don't even think I pre-ordered Mass Effect. Wait, did I? I think I did.
I did, yeah.
Hmm.
Because then you get to go to the midnight release.
See, I don't even like doing that.
I do for some games. The MMO scene I've kind of grown out of, like the World of Warcraft scene, just because it's digital download now. So
Yeah.
like midnight, it's ready to go.
Yeah. Just download it.
Now I did look into it. Your big question is why do they push pre-order so much? It kind of goes into that whole the bank mentality. Like remember how I was telling you when you buy like a PlayStation Plus card or you buy Xbox points,
Yeah.
that's Xbox's money now, regardless of whether you spend it. What they can do is say you pre-order a game and you put all $60 on that pre-order. GameStop can say, okay, well we've made $60. They bank that money until you pick up that game, and what that does is that $60 collects interest for them. So that $60 becomes $70 or $80 or whatever the interest rate GameStop gets, which nobody could tell you. I'm sure they keep that.
So that's why.
That's why they push it. The other big thing, and I can tell you this from working at Suncoast and Circuit City and stuff, is pre-orders guarantee repeat customers. Like the key to retail is repeat business. That's the thing we always strive for at Suncoast, and the thing we always strive for at Circuit City, which both of those are really no longer around.
Yeah.
But Best Buy does the same thing. GameStop does the same thing. It's a known business strategy because it's the same thing with gift cards. That's why they always push gift cards, is because it's guaranteed repeat service. If you pre-order, like I pre-ordered Guild Wars 2, I have to go there again to pick up Guild Wars 2, and then I might see
the strategy guide or a T-shirt.
Or the whole goal for GameStop, and I actually when I saw your story, I messaged a friend on Facebook who used to work for GameStop. The whole goal of the pre-order, see, I did my research.
Nice.
But the whole goal of the pre-order is to get you back in the store looking at their used games, because the used games for them is almost 100% profit. Like it is a lot of profit for them. So if you pre-order Guild Wars 2, and you got to go in there that morning and wait in line and stuff, you're kind of looking at it and go, wow, Heavy Rain is $9 or stuff like that, and they're like, oh yeah, well for $10 I'll pick that up. that's why GameStop pushes it. Um, so that's
Makes a
really
lot of
why
sense.
they push pre-orders.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. I'm glad we
Now,
talked about this.
now the other side of it, like what's worth it to pre-order to me, like I said, the head start's really it.
Yeah, like sometimes they'll offer like certain weapons, like if you get it from
Yeah.
one store, like I mean that's kind of unfair.
Now, like the Transformers, I'm a little upset because they have day one on disc DLC.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'll talk about it in the review. But one of the pre-order bonuses was one of the Dinobots,
Hmm.
which there is a, ooh, excuse me, it's not Grimlock, so it's Swoop, which is probably the second most popular Dinobot. Um,
Now, now is to play as him as a
in
character
multiplayer.
multiplayer.
Right. Now, that's the only way you can currently play as him. There is a Dinobot DLC coming out, which the
Is it?
Dinobot DLC has all four of them, which I would buy that anyway just for Grimlock, which I haven't made it to the Grimlock yet. I'm like one mission before it. So,
So
uh,
is it going to be more epic than Multiplex or
Metroplex.
Metroplex?
I don't know. Metroplex was pretty cool. Like the way they introduced him and stuff. You want me to just start my review? I'll do my review first. So since we're already talking about it, and I guess we were pretty well done with the
Yeah,
discussion.
yeah. If I ever reserved a game, it would probably be the only games I'm really looking forward to this year are Resident Evil 6 and XCOM Enemy Unknown. Then I'm done for the year.
Yeah. There's Guild Wars 2 and um, World of Warcraft expansion are really the only two for me. In Guild Wars 2, I pre-ordered, and World of Warcraft, I pre-bought. And it's the nice thing about World of Warcraft is it's pre-bought and already downloaded, so I don't even have to do anything.
Cool.
It just unlocks on the 25th of September.
Nice.
So, all right. Well, Transformers: War of Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron. War of Cybertron was the first one. So, it just came out yesterday. Like I said, I haven't finished the main campaign, but I am like probably 85% the way done. So I definitely have a good grasp on the gameplay and stuff like that. And it really hasn't changed since the first one. Uh, I did a little bit of multiplayer. I did some of the escalation mode. You saw me fail pretty hard at that. But I did dig into the multiplayer quite a bit last night, and it leveled like one or two of the characters, a couple of levels. But we'll start with the pros. Let me start that. Got a nice little video. So the first pros, and I don't know how much this will come across in the video, but the graphics actually look really great. The transformation scenes are awesome looking. The environments are great looking. The whole cinematic flair of it is it's Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. There are a couple of problems with the PlayStation version, which I'll list those in the cons, but nothing that breaks it for me, at least. Um, the next thing that I really liked about this is the campaign's a lot more diverse than the first one. In the first one, it was more squad based. Like you chose between like one of three bots, and then you kind of just flew through the end of the level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it was a jet level, all three were jets, stuff like that. Whereas in this one, it's more tailored to like specific robots. Like this level you see coming up, you're actually the only flying robot, so they tailored the level towards that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a level with Jazz, and he has like a grappling hook, so you like grapple around and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I did really like the level design, and I haven't seen Grimlock yet, so hopefully that'll come up.
He'll do some cool stuff.
Yeah. I followed his destruction for a few points, so that's pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff to explore in the levels. Like they're very large. There's a lot of open points and a lot of hidden points where you can, find audio logs. The typical like shooter stuff, Gears of War, third-person
Mm-hmm.
shooter, like audio logs, tags, stuff like that. Points, which go to the upgrade system, which the upgrade system is actually really cool. Like all the guns have 4 upgrade slots, and as you upgrade them, well, basically you have to unlock upgrade the first 3, and then from there, the 4th one upgrades, and the 4th one is always like the best out of them, and it's always something cool too, like a shotgun increases melee damage and stuff like that. So that's actually really cool. You watching the video?
Yeah, this mission you're playing as what was his name?
Onslaught. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
or
Onslaught's the one in the front. This one is.
what was his name? Something Jet.
I thought it was something.
Blast off.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
But yeah, this is from the demo.
Yeah, yeah. This video is from the demo, but nothing's really changed since then. Oh, I should have watched this because I missed that one. But yeah, as you see there, he's picking up audio logs. He's picking up those cases have the currency in them. So there's really a lot to explore in this. The one thing I didn't get, I did have it, but unfortunately the technical problems kind of reared its head. The multiplayer is actually real in depth. Like you choose between one of 4 classes, and then you can upgrade them, give them special abilities. Of course, change out all their guns, stuff like this. And that guy kind of sucks. But yeah, multiplayer is actually really, really deep, and that's probably what's gonna keep my time for the longest. Like, I actually played War of Cybertron a lot longer than I expected. Like, I actually leveled 3 out of the 4 classes in War of Cybertron
Nice.
to 25 and unlocked Prime mode, which is basically when you hit 25, you can start over.
It's like a prestige mode.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah, I did that. But I'm looking to dig back into this. And then, of course, there's the Horde escalation mode, which is co-op, and that's a lot of fun too. But to me, it's not as good as Mass Effect.
Nah.
Well, at least the first one was. I didn't really dig into this one that much. I played a couple of games, and then I played like 2 or 3 on my own, which it's hard on your own. But yeah, let's see. Huh? Did I lose it? No, there it is. Okay. The 2 cons is because the game just came out yesterday. There are a couple of bugs with it. This kind of goes back to my, maybe they should fix these as it's going on. Like there was one point in the campaign where Warpath was supposed to do something and he got stuck, and the only way I could fix that was go to the last checkpoint and start over.
Restart it.
That was the biggest one. There's a few like glitches here and there, like a door wouldn't open, so I'd have to run around the corner and then run back. But nothing that really impeded my progress like that Warpath one. The other thing is the graphical glitches. These are actually localized to just the PS3 version. It kind of sucks, but like there's some instances where sparks will show up, but they just show up as like bright orange blocks, so they don't look like sparks. They actually High Moon tweeted today that the graphical glitches should be fixed within the next week, along with the general other bugs and multiplayer problems, stuff like that. So hopefully that gets fixed pretty quick. But overall, and unfortunately I'm gonna cut the video off and go back to us. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. If anything within the last 3 chapters really stinks it up, I might come back and amend that score.
Okay.
But right now, it's a solid 9 out of 10. Like if you're a Transformers fan, you should pick it up. If you're a third-person shooter fan, it's a solid entry. You may want to let it drop because the market for third-person shooters is kind of oversaturated.
Yeah, it is.
It's like first-person shooters. So
yeah. What's up with that?
I'd say if you have like extra trade-in credit or you see it on sale, definitely pick it up. But anybody that really liked the first one, definitely pick up the second one because it's way better than the first one.
That's cool. And I remember you saying you liked the first one a lot. So.
Yeah, the first one, like I said, I ended up playing it a lot longer than I expected. Like I actually picked up the first one on sale for like $30 because I was like, oh, it's a Transformers game. It's probably not going to be that good.
Mm-hmm. And licensed game.
Yeah,
you're a little leery.
Right, but this gives me really high hopes for the Deadpool game because it's made by the same studio.
Oh, nice.
So High Moon Studios is doing the Deadpool game, so they know how to pull off a game that's a good entry into the genre, but even better to the source material. Which I've seen stuff on the Deadpool game, and I was telling you about it.
Mm-hmm.
How like Deadpool starts the game and he's like right up against the glass, like looking out, and he's just like, any girls in here? Probably not. So stuff like that, and like they said, his pop culture references in the game are like so fast that some of them fly by you. Like they said in the first level, he referenced like Star Trek, Star Wars, and like Battlestar Galactica in like
Nice.
5 lines of each other. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
Deadpool. He would be a cool character to write for.
yeah, he would. As long as it's not the first Wolverine movie.
Yeah. Ugh.
First, yeah. So, Deadlight. Let's talk about awesome writing in Deadlight.
Speaking of writing,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm gonna start the video for you.
Okay.
I don't think it's quite as long, but
Yeah, Deadlight is an interesting game. It's an Xbox Live Arcade game from Tequila Works. It's their first game. There goes their company name, Tequila Works.
yeah.
When in doubt, Tequila Works. They made a really good, solid game. I just picked this game up. I didn't really know what it was about. I just saw that it was a side scroller. That they had a couple screenshots, and I was like, it looks cool. Let me play it. And then once I was playing, I was like, this is a zombie game.
Yeah.
It's a 2D side scroller, zombie game. And so I mean, zombie the market is oversaturated with zombie games. So this was an interesting take on the genre.
Right.
So I was like, let me keep playing, and I was totally wowed by it. So I played through the full game, and the visuals, like right now you're just seeing the cutscenes. I'm not a fan of the motion or the motion comic cutscenes. I like, what is it? Shadow Complex, Expendables. There's all these other games that are the arcade style games, cheaply made, that or just not as big a budget as the bigger games that have like rendered cutscenes. So I'm like, how come? And there are some cutscenes in this game that are rendered with the game engine. So I'm like, why couldn't they do all the other ones like that? And I guess they were lazy. But pretty soon you're going to see some gameplay.
Yeah.
But the visuals are really, really impressive.
Yeah, I was actually taken back by the visuals.
Yeah, like it reminded me of the gameplay's a lot like Oddworld and Flashback, like a real throwback to those old school games, those old school platformer games.
Yeah.
The zombies are called shadows in this game, which is a unique take. The story takes place in Seattle, like 4th of July, Seattle, 1986. I'm not sure why or what's the significance of like this, but whatever. Hey, it's their story. Let's see. The animations are really good, but I feel like for some reason I've just been on a downward spiral when it comes to my reviews. Because they're just like.
Well, we need a tough reviewer. I'm generally over generous, so.
Yeah, I've just been on a downward spiral lately. I started out with all these 9s and all these 8s and stuff, but now I've been in 7 territory. Well, wait, Raccoon City.
Yeah.
Raccoon City was like 5 or 6.
Maybe that's why you were so good on all the other games, because after Raccoon City, everything was great. But that's wearing off now.
it is, but yeah, I just felt like there were more cons about this game than there were pros. When I started out, I was like, this game is awesome. It's this game's a 9,
Right.
But the story and the script. Here we're finally seeing some gameplay.
Yeah.
Like I said, the visuals, like the environments, are just really, really good looking. You can like here's checking out a body and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you'll see the gameplay. It's just very cinematic and very impressive visuals. And the animations are good. You're gonna see him climbing around and like throwing some stuff down, like knocking over some cabinets. But yeah, the script and the story is just appalling. It's atrocious. I mean, like I was showing Curtis some videos of it. Of
yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, they were just pretty bad. The puzzles in this game, there are some puzzles in this game, but they're very straightforward. You don't have to think much for them.
Push block over to side.
Basically,
jump.
yeah. Once you see that there's a block or something, you're gonna have to pull it or push it, climb on something. Not a whole lot. Like here, you see that box up there. You have to push it in order to break through the floor right there.
Right.
But I mean, some of the things like you can do a whistle to call out to a zombie. and say like you don't get weapons till later on in the game, like an axe and some guns and stuff. So you got to trick the zombies in order to kill them. So like if you whistle towards them, like they have no sense of self-preservation, so they'll like
Right.
run off a cliff or something like that. You know, like run off a ledge and fall down a hole or something. That's how you dispose of the zombies early on. But like for the most part,
Logged
my
out, huh?
my screensaver popped up. Um, the puzzles are very straightforward. Once you've done one puzzle, you've done them all,
Yeah.
basically, and then there's not much to it after that. The voice acting, another con.
Awful.
And that kind of goes with the script because like I mean I feel like maybe if the script was a little bit better, the voice acting wouldn't be as bad. Like there was one line, like he's like the guy. Basically, your character is like looking for his family, and
Right.
not to spoil anything, but okay, I won't spoil it. But
It's just bad.
yeah, it's just bad. Not the novelty of the game wears off really quickly. You know, like say you're impressed.
Yeah, it
with
already looks tedious.
Yeah, like once you get impressed by the visuals and everything, you're just thrown in there, and it's like okay. Like, I just kept going because I paid for it.
Right. At that point, why not?
Yeah, like by that point, it went from a 9 to about an 8. Nah, yeah, a 9 to 8.5, and then the story got it down even more.
Yeah.
And then it was too short. I
Yeah.
think I beat the game in about like I looked back at my time, and it logs all your time in the game, and it was about 2.5 hours.
Wow, that is pretty short,
And
even for an arcade game.
Yeah, for an
like Shadow Complex is well, if you try to get everything in Shadow Complex, it's really long.
Yeah.
But even the main gameplay is like 2 hours, or like two to I think 6 hours, depending on how you do it. Because Shadow Complex actually has like multiple endings.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So like you started Shadow Complex, right?
Yeah.
So like his girlfriend gets taken, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at one point after you get a certain upgrade, you can actually make it back to your Jeep, and you can actually leave
Nice.
without rescuing her. And you actually get an achievement for it too. So
Nice.
if you buy Shadow Complex, definitely do it because the achievement's really funny. It's like Bachelor on the Run or something like that.
That's cool.
It's funny. But yeah, Shadow Complex is a lot longer. And this kind of reminds me of Shadow Complex a little bit. Just a little more survival.
Yeah, a little more survivally, a little more cinematic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just too short, and ultimately I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. So I started out with higher hopes, and it's just like things just wore on me, and it just went down.
Wore you down, huh?
Yeah.
That's all right. So 7.5 out of 10. So what do you think you're gonna review next week?
Next week is going to be. It's probably gonna be.
Or maybe the week after, because.
Oh yeah, we might not do it.
Yeah, I might. I guess since we're kind of wrapping up before the other discussion topic, I should say we're not doing it. We might not do a show next week. It's more like we probably won't,
Mm-hmm.
but we may.
We're just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I have a work trip and I'll be getting back late Tuesday, so unless for some reason I can get the whole show written in a layover or stuff like that, we might not have a show, but it'll be on the calendar.
We might have some new graphics.
Yeah,
for the show.
yeah, and new music, so I'll definitely be working on that. But yeah, what do you think you'll review?
It's going to be a toss-up between Counter-Strike, Global Offensive.
You're gonna buy it?
I might.
Yeah.
I might. First-person shooter. What the heck?
Yeah, my PlayStation downloaded it. I was telling you, it just took it upon itself to download it. Like I have PlayStation Plus, so it has that auto backup, auto save, auto update feature.
Yeah.
And it downloaded Counter-Strike. Like I turned it on this morning.
And he was like, "Oh, I got a new game on here."
Yeah, it was like Counter-Strike. Downloaded and installed. I was like, well, I wasn't real sure.
The demo, I'm not sure if it's the same on the PS3 version, but the demo for the Xbox version, I mean, the full game is unlocked just for like what, an hour?
It's timed rather than content locked.
Mm-hmm. So that's I thought that was pretty cool. So I mean, it was enough to make me go, let me.
And Counter-Strike's a solid entry in first-person shooters. So, all right, well, I'll do the regular spiel, and then we'll go into the second discussion topic. If you want to check us out at gamersdigest.me. Check out Gamers Digest podcast on YouTube. If you have any questions, emails, send them to gamersdigestpodcast@gmail. You can also check us out at Anne Arundel County Public TV, Saturday at 8, Thursdays at 10. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I haven't done any streams for a while, just because World of Warcraft's kind of in a lull, like a major lull, due to the pre-expansion. But once Guild Wars comes out and starts running, I'll probably stream that, and we might do some classic game streams.
Yeah.
So
I would like to do some Advanced Wars game streams.
we could do that.
Man, but I've been playing some what is it, War Room maps, and they're just so unfair.
Huh?
Yeah, the way the maps are set up is just to like really make it tough for you.
Right.
To like, take the upper hand and win. I think I'm in the middle of a match right now. It's like it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
All right, well, our second discussion topic, like I kind of forewarned earlier, is actually going to be on Walking Dead video game episodes 1 and 2. It's going to be very spoiler heavy. I'm going to say it like we're not going to hold anything back. So if you don't want it spoiled, turn us off now.
Turn it off.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Walking Dead. First you did a review on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave it favorable reviews for both episodes.
Yeah.
So, and I actually feel the same way. I think it might even be genre defining. Like it might be new adventure games.
Like adventure games that are now, I can now say adventure games are
back.
They're back, and they're even I wouldn't want to say they're my favorite type of game now.
Right.
Especially after Heavy Rain. Like I've been trying to fill in that void after I beat Heavy Rain, and right now Walking Dead is it.
It fits for you pretty well because you're the cinematic guy, and that's what
exactly.
it is. It's basically an interactive movie. Mm-hmm. And I tried to get Nikki to come on the podcast and talk to us from like a non-gamer's perspective, because when I was sitting here playing it, I guess what was it, Saturday or Sunday?
Like we were all just sitting there watching it.
Right, and then at one point I paused it and I said, "All right, well let's go get something to eat." And she's like, "You can't stop it." Oh right, it's a video game. So. Yeah, the cinematics that they do in it is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like it's really an interactive movie.
You got some video, right?
Yeah, we can start that, I guess. Yeah, so like I said, there's going to be spoilers. I haven't watched this video completely through, so I don't know what choices they make.
Okay.
But it is a rather long video, so it might cover the whole time we're talking about it. But the gameplay, like we said, it is an adventure gameplay. It's very little movement is involved, other than go here, talk to these guys, make this hard decision, stuff like this. So the technical side of it is sound.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay is good, the voice acting is great.
I like the voices. One of the things I really like about this game is the character art.
Yeah.
I like the art style.
Yeah, I mean
it's kind of comic booky, but it's kind of not, and it just really, it's unique.
Right.
I really like the art style.
And see, to me, I actually really like that aspect too. Like they went for the realism, but not like the super realism.
Yeah.
So, they must have saved the teacher. Yeah. The other video I was trying to upload is actually the video that they Telltale posted of the choices people made. Like, because they keep data on all of it.
Yeah.
But, like, most people chop that guy's leg off to save him, but then, of course, he dies anyway and becomes a zombie.
One thing I like about this game also, I think I brought it up in my reviews, you play as a black guy.
Yeah.
That's unique, and especially for the game to be this popular.
Yeah.
And, you're playing as a black character. I thought that was pretty cool.
And it didn't faze me one way or another. He makes a compelling character, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all race jokes aside, he's well written. Like, and even
unlike CJ from San Andreas, who's just very stereotypical and
right. And even like he's a convicted felon, But even that, like, you can make like stereotypical jokes about.
Uh-huh.
But it's well written enough that even if you take the dark route, like the worst route, I don't even want to say the bad route because
Uh-huh.
you know this game the choices
It's
are
very-
bad or worse.
Yeah, they're very gray. Like, you
But
know, it's tough to make.
even if you take like the bad route, he's still not like stereotypical
Mhm.
like bad guy. So, and I think like we were talking about the voice acting, I think that really comes into play there
Mhm.
because they're all voiced really well. Now, my only complaint was initially Clementine kind of bothered me because she was kind of dry,
Yeah.
but she seems to have gotten in the groove a little later.
Playing the character and starting to, yeah.
Right. So, like my favorite point of this episode is when you're in the barn and the little boy is talking about, you know, don't lick the
The salt lick.
or he's like I wonder what the salt lick tastes like, and she's like, don't lick it, it tastes gross. And you're like, did you lick it? And she's like, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, I really do like that.
Yeah, the writing is really good for this game.
Now the writing on the choices. Let's talk. The choices are going to be the big thing here. Like this is the whole reason I wanted to talk about Walking Dead was the choices for this game are crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like the big one is Larry. Like
Mhm.
we saw Larry.
Well, basically at the end of like Larry's introduced in the first episode as the Lily's father, who he has like a heart condition,
Right.
and he like when the zombies are attacking, he's like he's an asshole.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's a major douchebag.
yeah. And like he has like this heart condition, and they were trying to get him pills, and basically, you know, they don't have those pills anymore.
Yeah.
So he like passes out from like a heart attack in this meat locker, and you're all locked up in there, and you have a choice, like you want to
Yeah, yeah. Basically, the choice is to kill him or to smash his brain because you think he's already dead. Because in the Walking Dead universe, you don't have to be bitten to turn into a zombie. Once you die, regardless of how you
Yep.
die, you become a zombie.
Yep.
So you're trapped in this meat locker, and the video might eventually get there, but I don't know.
We'll last that
We'll
long.
make it there. Yeah. But the choice is you can either help Lily try to resuscitate him, or you can, you know, restrain Lily and
Let Kenny kill him.
right. The problem is you're like, okay, that's pretty morally, you know, easy to
Mhm.
figure out. Resuscitate him good, you know, kill him bad.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, what ends up happening is you try to resuscitate him, and Kenny kills him anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty brutally. Like he just throws a salt lick on his head.
Yeah.
So
It destroys it.
right. And the worst part is if you resuscitate him, if you make it to the fourth compression, he actually starts to talk,
Yeah.
and then Kenny smashes his head. So he wasn't really dead.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that. Like you made the good choice, and it still ended up backfiring. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff in this game where stuff like that happens, and you're just like, I don't know what to do.
Or like, what about the opening for
Episode.
episode 2,
Where you have the
or,
four.
no, the guy.
Oh,
The dude, and we'll get to that one. But the dude with the bear trap on his leg, you got to chop his leg off in order to save him. That's like
Right.
you
Yeah,
gotta
you
do-
have the option to like try to do other things or chop his leg off to save him. And like my first playthrough, I tried to do everything else. Like there's like 6 or 7 things like you can click on and try
Yeah.
before you chop his leg off. And unfortunately, I went through those, and then I ran out of time because a bunch of zombies started storming us. So we ended up running away.
Mhm.
But the other option is to chop his leg off,
Yeah.
which, as you saw earlier, doesn't end well either.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and I want to point out somebody saved Doug. Somebody else
Yeah.
saved
Somebody
Doug.
saved Doug on this one.
So, yeah, because that's another choice. You have to choose between him and a girl in the first episode. And the girl has a gun, and she's competent, and this guy's kind of like a nerdy basement dweller.
Yeah.
So not many people saved him.
Yeah. Like it's like I want to say between 70 and like 80%.
saved Carly, yeah. But,
So,
yeah, the second option you're really presented with in episode 2 is you're like, here's 4 pieces of food. You have to divide that among 10 people.
mhm.
But it's not like you can divide the food. You just have to choose 4 out of the 10 people to get the
Yep.
food. And, you know, there's 2 kids, there's the angry guy, there's your friend, there's
Yeah.
the doctor, there's this new kid, and then of course there's yourself. So
Yeah, do you save the food for yourself? Like, I mean, and this impacts the story. Like
right,
little notifications will come up. Like if somebody,
like you see
yeah,
there.
look, there goes a notification right there. Little things pop up, and these things come back and affect the story later on.
They haunt you.
Yeah, they do.
They really do. Like Lily and her dad. Uh, if you always side with Kenny instead of Lily, Lily is like a major bitch to you the whole time. Whereas even if you side with her like once, it just diminishes and diminishes and
Yep.
diminishes. But then it goes the other way because then Kenny's like, you're a total jerk.
Yeah.
How come you're not looking out for me? I thought we were friends. So, yeah, the way this game is written is amazing. Like I hate to say it, but I don't even really consider it a zombie game.
Nah.
It's like a
human,
morality.
Yeah, morality. Like a human, like a social
morality compass. Like I wanted Nikki to play through it, as she would play. Like make the choices you would make in those situations.
That's what I try. That's what I try to do when I first play the game. And like honestly, in my very very first playthrough, I killed Larry.
Yeah, because
I
you're
thought,
like,
dude, he's gonna turn into a zombie and kill us all.
we're gonna have a 6 foot, 300 pound, seriously pissed off dead guy.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think my third playthrough, I will either do a completely silent playthrough or I will make the choices as I made them. Uh, Really, the good choice, like my good playthrough, are pretty close to what I would do naturally. There are only a few things, like maybe at the end of this episode, I probably would have taken the food rather than side with Clementine and not take the food. I probably wouldn't have killed both brothers, or I would have left both of them alive.
Yeah.
Because they were gonna get it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's all no reason to kill him.
Right. Now the other video was really interesting because it had the stats, and they say that like Andy, the one brother, has been punched over 1,000,000 times.
Wow.
But they say 92% of people stop hitting him after they cut to that wide shot, and you see the whole group standing over you as you're punching
there's
him.
a part where you get to punch the guy in the middle right here. You get to punch the crap out of him. But yeah, it really does affect you
because you're like, these people are behind you and they're like shaking your head and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, and the whole human meat part, like that.
Yeah, cannibalism.
Yeah, like the big thing for episode 2 is these people invite you to their farm and they have food, but they want gas. But you find out these 3 right here are actually cannibals, and that's how they sustain it. Like they have a slaughterhouse where they keep people alive.
Yeah, they have like a pact or something with these bandits to like give them food if they like.
I think the bandits are going to become more into play.
Yeah, in the next
in the next one.
episode.
So
we still haven't got a release date.
Nope, I was looking for it today because we're doing this show. They initially said it was going to be ready mid-August. It's well past mid-August.
It's well past mid-August.
So we'll have to wait for that. Now, we mentioned the choices and stuff like that. What do you think some of the choices are going to happen down the road?
I think. Well, I know for sure that Lily's going to be leaving.
Yeah, because she's in the show, right?
She's in the show. She's in the comic. I think. I'm pretty sure that the name of the achievements were out or something.
They are.
And one of them's like the road somewhere, and wherever that railroad is or something, wherever it's going is where Lily is in the comic.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking that's where she leaves. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be leaving in the 3rd episode.
Probably.
And I do think Clementine. I do think you're gonna come across Clementine's mom.
Yeah.
In the story.
You think dead or alive?
I don't know. I don't know.
See. I'm of the big believer, and this was my theory of your morality choices are affecting Clementine. Cause she pretty much sees all of it.
She sees a lot of stuff.
So there's very little you can hide from her, and I think at the end, like the last episode, each of the episodes have like a screenshot with it when you go to select it, and 3 through 5 say coming soon. I think at the end, Clementine is going to decide whether you live or die. Like you're going to be in a situation and based on your choices, she's either gonna say, "No, I'm looking out for myself because that's what
Exactly.
you did the whole time," or we've got to stick together and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I think that's gonna be the big one. I also think. Um, nice.
We have a chatter.
Yeah, we have a couple of them, but I think the big thing is Kenny's boat. Like that's gonna come into play too. Like you're gonna
Oh yeah, he wants
he's
to
gonna
get
choose
yeah.
whether you get on that boat or not, and that might come into effect how the story ends. So,
Yeah, I can't wait. I wish it was all done now.
yeah. Now we
And
did
it has been approved for season 2. So like how do you think season 2
maybe
like
season 2 is gonna deal.
new characters or
Maybe it'll deal with Clementine as the main character
hmm,
picking up down the road, or they may do new characters. Like they did an interview with the creator of the comics, and he said the whole reason they decided to do new characters is they didn't want to shoehorn anything. Like they wanted to write their own story.
okay.
But they said adding characters from the comic and show are all right because it does kind of take place a little before the comic and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that's pretty. The whole game as a whole is pretty interesting. Like you see, this is pretty much the gameplay here. Like you can
Yeah,
choose who
walking
you talk
around,
to.
clicking around.
Now this is actually how the game is set up, kind of in easy mode, because you can see all the stuff you can interact with. You can actually turn all that stuff off.
Yeah, you can. Have
It,
you? I want to do maybe in my third playthrough it will be with the realism mode activated.
Right, and you can't see what you can click on, so it's more of that old school, clicking around, trying to use your brain, stuff
Mhm.
like that. The only downside is because we've already played it, we already know where most of this
Yeah,
stuff
we know
is.
what to do.
Now, that fence really annoyed me because you can click on it and interact with it, and he's like, "Oh man, that is like super pointy," and then it never comes into play.
Yeah.
Like
I'm thinking it was I thought that maybe that was a way you can kill Andy.
I
So,
looked like last time I played it, like as he's dragging you, because eventually you get in a fight and he drags you towards that electric fence. I was looking, but nothing.
mhm.
So yeah, I'm excited for the third episode. PlayStation was smart by giving them free to PlayStation Plus members.
Yeah.
Um,
They're going to get a whole lot more.
that being said, I would probably. I think the video's over now, so we did go the full video.
Oh, nice.
We'll switch to some screenshots. Like this is the dinner scene.
Where that's human meat.
It's human
It's
meat.
people.
Yeah. Don't choose that one because that doesn't stop them. And let's see. There's some zombies. You actually get to see Glenn there. He's actually from the show in the
Yeah.
comic.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got. That's the scene where you have to chop the guy's leg off, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, you get a nice shot of Lee right there, sneaking
Walking up
some
the stairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really cool scene where he was like walking up the way the camera was and everything, and the creak in the step because you're trying
You
to
like stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
that was pretty cool, and like how you dig around up there and you find a hidden room with
Mhm.
Mark with his legs cut off and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, to anybody who hasn't played these games,
Definitely
it,
play
it,
them.
and especially if you're a fan of that genre, like a lot of the older people, had Leisure Shoot Larry or King's Quest or God, there used to be
Dragons. What's it? Dragon's Lair.
Dragon Slayer is like the Twitch-based game.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's Dragon something. Crap, I can't think of all of them now. But there used to be a lot of them. So yeah, I would definitely check those out. Dust, the original Dust was an adventure game. Definitely check it out. I would say probably pick it up if you're a PlayStation Plus member. Definitely pick it up on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, you can pick up the first 2 episodes for free.
Yeah. But if you're not a PlayStation Plus member and you own a PC that has a decent graphics card in it, pick it up for PC because it's actually $15 for all 5 episodes.
Wow.
Yep. Did
And
my
it
research.
looks amazing too.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, everything you saw here tonight was actually from the PC
version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Now
good.
the PlayStation Xbox versions don't look bad.
No, they don't
So.
look bad, but
The mouse definitely is a lot better than the controller.
mhm.
So like I said, I wanted Nikki to talk, but she wouldn't. But
she's in the chat.
yeah. So older people.
Oh.
Hey, I'm almost 30. She says it's a good game. From a non-gamer perspective, and I know this is really delayed, but from a non-gamer perspective, is it something you can tolerate me playing while you're watching, as opposed to Call of Duty?
See what she says.
Yeah, see, pretty sweet to watch. So,
Cool.
now if only I could get her on to talk. She didn't want to come on and talk.
The next show.
Yeah,
When we
Yeah.
talk about episode 3.
yeah. I still want to. I'm still holding out that third playthrough slot for her. See if maybe
Okay.
she'll play it,
Okay.
but I doubt it. So, great plot line. Got lost in it. So
And
there you go.
The eyes were funny.
Yeah, we did all laugh. The Lee's expressions are like super exaggerated. Like he'll be like, yeah, see, yeah, I can't do that. Crazy eyes.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, like I said, check it out.
Check it
You
out.
agree?
Definitely.
It's
one of my favorite games out. Game of the year.
You think
Well,
so?
wait.
Maybe.
Because Mass
Downloadable game of the year.
Downloadable game of the year.
There you go.
There you go. Because Mass Effect 3.
I don't know. We'll see how the last couple episodes play out, but it might beat Mass Effect 3 for me. Like it's getting there. Like I was, because I went in skeptical. Like
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, adventure games. I played King's Quest. I remember these. These are kind of boring. Like I remember the Ace Ventura.
It's definitely it will definitely end up one of the top 3 games of the year.
Oh, easily.
It needs to be.
But yeah,
We should do it at the end of the year. We should do like a game of the year show, like an awards type show where we give away awards.
we'll have to think of a name. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, we've done a really long show tonight, so my brain's already fried.
Uh-oh.
So yeah. See, even Nikki said she's like I was actually more interested in that than Mass Effect, and she loved Mass Effect. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. Like you can get demos on all the networks, including PC. Definitely try it. Like I said, even if you're not a zombie game fan, really the zombies are secondary.
Yeah, to the people.
Right. It's a story.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, we have talked a long time. You are going to have to edit, I guess, about 10 minutes out of this for the TV show eventually.
Okay.
But yeah, for people who weren't here earlier, because I do know we gained a couple of viewers, we're actually going to be on Anne Arundel County Public TV Saturday at 8, Thursdays
And Thursday
at
at 10.
So check us out there. If you're in Anne Arundel County or have access to Anne Arundel County TV, that'd be really weird.
Yeah.
So, but other than that,
we'll be stars.
we're gonna wrap it up. It is now 10 o'clock because we did start a little later tonight. Thank you, technical issues. But check out the website. We'll have the show notes and stuff posted. Hopefully tomorrow or Friday.
And it'll be online.
Yeah, like I said, check the calendar. We may not do a show next week, just because it depends really what time I get back and if I'm able to write the show while I'm on the business trip. Otherwise, we'll be here the week after and we'll make it up to you. Otherwise, have a good night.
See ya.
All right.
Gamers Digest is a Spider One and Mr. Factastic production. Send your questions to gamersdigestpodcast@gmail.com. Intro music by MF Greth, any music by Fapito. Check them both out at newgrounds.com.